Hey, hello, and welcome to Goodnight Kisses. I'm your host, Kristen, and thank you for joining me today. Today is Social Media Friday for crafty businesses. And welcome. Thank you for your patience this morning. I'm starting about 30 minutes late. Today I got, I can't say roped in, but we had Dad Day up at school today, and I had to play Dad. So Daddy could not be there, and so Mama was voted. So I actually had to sneak out a little early and give giant hugs. So anyway, sorry for the delay. I'm about almost 45 minutes late for doing this. But I do say that I start between 8:30 and 9:30. So I've been trying to start like right at 8:30 lately. So anyway, thank you for your patience. Again, welcome to the replay. If you have a question later, write replay and ask the question. I will answer it the next week or on the following Q&A Monday. And if you're here live, please be sure and tell me where you're from, who you are. If you have a business, I would love to know if you are already on Etsy as a shopper. You could write shopper and what your shopper name is or your username is. And if you have a store on Etsy, please write your store name and tell us store or say store and then your Etsy name. So that would be awesome because then other people here could actually go check out your store. I do not mind advertising today on Friday. You guys, it is totally welcome. If you are a business that has been running and going for a while, that's great. Be sure and write that down. If you are a mom and pop shop, kind of like me, because most people are, I would love for you to write your shop name down so we can all follow you and check out your goods. Whether you sell patterns like me or you make the things that I write up and you sell them to people. I would love to see what you sell and encourage your shop along, because here's the deal. I have people ask me, can you make that pattern? How would you charge me to make it? I mean, not the pattern, but can you make that for me and I'll buy it from you? And I'm like, I actually don't have time, but when I have reliable crafters who are on Etsy who have good stores, I can actually recommend them and be like, I know that they make my pattern and they'd be fantastic at actually making something for you. So let's work that deal. I wouldn't get anything for it. I just need to be able to refer quality people who can do stuff on time and get it out to people and it looks beautiful, right? So good morning, good morning. Everyone say hello again, where you're from. If you have a shop on Etsy, write shop and or store and then write your Etsy name. If you are just a shopper, be sure and write us your name. If you're a customer, I would love to know. If you're one of my customers, I'm grateful to you. Thank you for your business. If you are not, I would love for you to come check out the things I have and check out the people that are going to write it on the list here. You're getting no sound. Is anyone else not getting sound? Let me look at the comments, make sure I'm not the only one. You're not the only one. Good morning, Sandy. Good morning, Ada. Michelle, good morning. Wendy and Angel. Oh, Angel, and she's the one who asked about Etsy, so I'm so glad she's on. Gayla, and thank you for being patient, Angel. I had said 8:30, and I am super late. I don't know if you heard, but I had to be a substitute dad for Dad Day today because my husband could not be there. And, when they plug these things at school, the kids are like devastated if Dad cannot come. So I was a sub dad today. Gayla, good morning, Joelle. Joella? Oh, pretty. Lori, good morning. You are not too late. Gayla says, it tickles me pink here. I am now the proud owner of 2 Kristen Mangus books. Woohoo! You have 2 of my books? You're awesome. Thank you. I'm so glad. So this is it in reverse, if anybody. This is the Loom Knitting Patterns Guide, okay? So Loom Knitting Guide and Patterns book. It has 10 in there. And I actually need to do an update. And the link that you have, Gayla, if you'll check on that, I have an update for one of the pages. If you want to write the update in your book, it doesn't take very long to just make the little change. So Anne Marie, excuse me, I'm fixing my hair. Got my hair did. Good morning, Anne Marie and Dawn. I hope you're getting sound. Let me know. Lori in Wisconsin. Oh, just interest in Etsy. Okay. Gayla says, that's my goal when I retire in 1.5 years to do something similar to what you're doing. Sounds fine here. Oh, great. Oh, you want to make stuff? You want to write patterns? You want to do videos? Tell us all. Dana. Hey, Melissa. Oh, Melissa says, keen loom knitter and lover of all things wool. Aren't we all? Do you own any sheep? You can hear sound, Emery. Okay. It's okay. You understand. Okay. Hey, Lisa, good morning. Welcome. Gayla says, yes, here's the only ones I can figure out. Some are so confusing. Oh, well, thank you. You know, to each their own. Teachers are all different. And then the way we all write patterns are different too. I mean, some people like to write every single little thing out. The invisible loom, she's actually blind, and she writes her patterns awesome. People enjoy her patterns. They're written out in really long form, and you can really go through and understand all those little steps. And then other people like to super abbreviate what they're saying, make it shorter for publishing. And I kind of go in between. And I try to be like a publisher, but sometimes I'm just too wordy. Like whenever I've had my books published by other people, or like I've done contract stuff, they edit the junk out of me. They edit it way down. And I'm like, but that's not how I would say it. And that to me adds to some frustration from people. So when I can publish it myself, I try and write it an easy condensed way. So it's like more of a mnemonic device of, okay, I could do this, repeat, 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 and do it that way. But and I'm always trying to improve. So if you don't understand something about a pattern, you can always write to me and write pattern question in the subject or something, and then actually ask me. But I need it to be my pattern, not someone else's. Good morning, everyone. Good morning, Joanne. I can't wait to see your skirt. Anne-Marie says, my Etsy name is Crafty Annie. Y'all all go check out Anne-Marie. But I haven't put anything on in a long time, hoping to start up again after we move next month. Oh, great. Yeah. So y'all check her out, favorite her, heart her store, and we'll go look at all that today. I'm going to flip the camera here in a minute. I'm just saying hi to everyone. Good morning, Sharon. Gayla says, I'm always making my own patterns. I have scads in my head. Can't tell you what I have for breakfast. Gayla, maybe we should chat. Yeah, I can get you just an easy template to kind of guide you. It's more like a guide, not doing it my way, but just like so that you make sure and get some of the pertinent information, and then maybe you could use that and then start working on that. So maybe I can help you with that. If you ever want to test one of your patterns on my page and like learn how to do the formatting and then kind of work with us on that would probably help you get you started. We've had several people, Denise Johnson, she started really flying with her patterns after she did a couple of patterns on our on the goodknitkisses.com page, the blog. Any new pattern makers are welcome. I don't pay anybody for it because honestly, my site isn't what I get most of my revenue from. I'm actually paying to have my site up. I have ads on there, but honestly, y'all, I am not good at marketing my site. And so I can't teach you how to market your site and make money on it because I really don't it's sort of a draw. But anyway, what actually happens is people do come to my site for patterns and stuff and information and resources. So I'm not making money, but at least people are finding the resources, which is the intent for the site. So anyway, if you ever want to try that, anybody who's on here, Joanne, if you want to do that, I think Joanne, we did something together too. Melissa, no sheep, but considered shearing. Oh my gosh. Melissa says no sheep, but considered shearing hubby's beard. He is not sold on the idea. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. That's funny. Oh man. How big is his beard? Is he like Duck Dynasty beard? Good morning, Susan. Good morning, Gayla. Y'all, I'm not seeing any hearts and likes today. I wonder if people are reacting. Y'all, will y'all give me some hearts? Let's see if it's all working right today. Boom, boom, heart, heart. It is Friday. It is Friday. Oh, I got a like. Oh, we got a heart. Whoop. I'm going to capture him. I don't even know if it does that right when I do it or if it's reversed to you guys. Like maybe they're coming from this side, but to me, they're coming like this. Good to all the girls, Ada says. Gayla, I find tons of stuff and resources at your site. Awesome. Thank you. Oh, you need your coffee? I have to confess, because I had to go to the kids' school this morning, I had coffee up there, so this is actually water. So I guess it's part coffee. That's so goofy. It's not, because coffee has water. That was really dorky, Kristen. Alicia, don't know if I'm on replay. You are live, baby. Live. Gayla, if you do Melissa, film it and share it. Yes, you should. Oh my gosh. That would be hilarious. You could do it. Well, no, people who didn't understand. I was going to say you could do it in our private Facebook group. You could do a live thing there, but no, because people wouldn't understand what that was for. And you might get some curse words. Oh my gosh. Melissa says, who's that big hairy biker? Need I say more? Oh yeah. Who's that? Oh, Duck Dynasty. I don't actually watch Duck Dynasty. It's like super popular, but they're like these guys who they made their living like selling like these duck calls and like all these other hunting supply things. And the guys have like these really long scraggly beard. Oh, maybe I should have said ZZ Top. Yeah. Big hairy biker. Gayla says she'd pay to see that happen. Okay. Well, we don't want you to have any, we don't want to have any bloodshed over this. We don't want Melissa to end up harmed because she cut off her husband's beard. So anyway, Dawn says, for whatever reason, no sound here today. I want everyone to have a great weekend. Dawn, y'all type and tell her real quick. Dawn, just close your whole app and come back. Like reset your phone if you're on a phone or whatever, and like just come back because it's probably just an issue that way. I know if you double click on your home button and swipe up on an Apple, it will close out that app, and then you can open it back up again because it like completely closes it. So anyway, yeah. Anyway, I know I'm like trying to like she's gonna understand what I said, but yeah, I hope she like reboots it somehow. Okay, so we're live. It says I have like 26 people on, but I know it's more because last time I said 80 and I had 2,200 people. So I can't trust the Facebook count. So you guys are waiting for Etsy. News stuff real quick. If you may have seen, I put a note on about I have like 91,000 unread emails, and that is because I have so many, well, a lot of them is over years, and I hate to like just delete them all, but like it gets super backed up and I get behind and I get to where it's like, well, how far back do I go where I start answering, or do I just answer from recent and then kind of work? So I usually end up answering just the most recent. But what happens is I get bombarded with tons of questions that are more like Google questions. So like, really, why are you asking me, or people asking me, can you make a hat on video? I'm like, I have a bunch of hat videos. Like, I really shouldn't have to be someone's personal search engine. And so anyway, but Mikey with the Crochet Crowd had kind of addressed some of that today. And oh my gosh, my sister was calling me during my broadcast. She obviously doesn't watch me. Sorry, that interrupted everything. But anyway, he had posted on the Crochet Crowd, and I was like, man, I identify with you. And so I had posted, and I wasn't trying to make it like, excuse me, a bitch session. But at the same time, it's like, make people aware. It's like, come on, y'all, I'm a person too. And I don't have a team. Like I cannot afford to hire people right now. I'm not at that level. I'm not even back at the level that I was when I was doing interior design. So, I struggle just like everybody else. Y'all might see this nice grand house. I've got to pay for this nice grand house that I used to have a higher paying job. So anyway, I don't have time, nor do I have the capacity with people to actually physically answer everyone's questions and be like a search desk. It's a help desk, not a search desk. So anyway, that's really frustrating to me. So anyway, okay, sorry. Let me get that over with. The other news is I thought it was interesting, and I'll tell you this. You know what? I'm not going to go into that. I'll leave that for another day. Okay, sorry. I'm moving files around. I was going to go over like this thing that was in the news, but I'm not going to worry about it. I may go on Q&A Monday. I'll save it for Monday. Okay, so I'm going to flip the camera. I'm not really sure how it's focused on here because I was trying to run in for my appointment this morning. So let me see. Are y'all ready for Etsy? Oh my gosh. Did y'all hear that? Oh my gosh, I just did that. Okay, I don't know if there's a lag because my sister had called. Is everybody still on? Can somebody say something and then hit hearts or something or likes? Because, oh, I see a yes. Okay. Yes, ma'am. Okay, awesome. When I get a phone call, sometimes it like, yeah, I might look into virtual assistants. They're generally pretty cheap for tasks like email management. Yeah. The problem is, I need someone who is versed in helping someone who is a influencer, a YouTuber. And I get a ton of requests. I get a lot of requests for, business stuff too. And it's hard to sift through that. And I need a decision maker too. So knowing who to hire. I have kind of a virtual assistant right now, Carol, who's in Canada, and she's super sweet and she helps me with social media stuff as much as she can in the group. But, we don't, she's completely volunteer. And by the grace of God, she is my friend and my helper in whatever she can help with. So y'all give Carol some love when you can. I don't think she's on here right now. She's doing something with her family right now. So, anyway, okay, all is well. I'm going to flip the camera and try and refocus here. Okay. Now, I'm going to try and lower this. Sorry, I had to have it higher for when you see me. Let me see if I can get this. I'm sorry for the adjustment. There's always an adjustment period. Let me get this camera working. Whoops. I gotta fix the tripod. I'm sorry. Technical delays, y'all. Okay, I'm trying to make it to not look like it's like a weird angle for you. Okay, so I have a couple of screens going on here, as you can see. What I did is I've got Chrome up, Google Chrome up, and it's up because it doesn't have me remembered as a person oh, here we go. That's better. It doesn't remember who I am right now. Okay. There we go. Sorry, all the adjustment. I'm here. Hi. Okay, so I've got Google Chrome up. I'm on Etsy.com. This is a total on the fly like tutorial and zooming through Etsy. But if you come to Etsy and you want to start, obviously you can go and start searching through all these crafts and everything and finding stuff. I would suggest if you are interested in actually doing something on here before you actually sign up, you can go and look at competitor areas and get an idea of what looks great and works well before you even sign up. So, I mean, use it to your advantage and kind of search without it actually knowing anything about you and affecting your search, or pull up a browser and search like someone would as just a regular typical person. Just anybody, a regular customer who's buying something. So like I would go to craft supplies and tools, and then I can go to, let's see, patterns and tutorials, and see there's sewing and needle crafts, fiber arts, jewelry, beading. If I go to fiber arts, I've got knitting patterns and ponchos, all these kind of things here, patterns only. Anyway, you can scroll through, and then you can actually, you can click on knitting or crochet. Can y'all even see this? Let me see if I can zoom in. Can y'all see that better? Okay, so if I go in here, I can go to, let's see, knitting. All right. And I can say, maybe I just want to know United States. So it starts filtering it for me. And then I can say, I don't want to spend over $4.99. Okay. And so I can keep filtering and looking for what I want. I can sort by relevancy. I can search for most recent, that kind of thing. But I can also use this Etsy search engine and see. But this is interesting to see what pulls up the fastest and what is popular. And I like looking at it this way, and you can see kind of how people have shot their pictures here. Okay, so when you're going to sell on Etsy, you need to look at it like a customer first and see what's appealing and see what's popular, and that would be that would be the best way to look, is just to see what's most popular and then kind of emulate, not imitate, but, get ideas of like, okay, so why is this one being shown to me? Well, it's really nice. And, whether I'm selling the pattern or I'm selling the product, we want something that's a nice, clear design. Some people struggle with this and they're like, wow, but the people who know how to figure out stuff, they can see my stuff and figure it out. And, the thing is, yeah, people are going to do that no matter what. So, but the people who can't are your customers, and you want to solve a problem for them. So write the best pattern you can write. Make sure to, have your friends test it out, and even, give you some feedback and reviews on it, and let you know. And when you've got a great pattern, make sure you've got great photos. Okay. So this is more general stuff, but before you even start, I think it's most important to know about photos and what people see. So the first one, you choose what's shown first. Look, these are really cute gloves. I've never even looked at them before. But look at them and see this with the white background. I mean, that pops. It's, that image would actually draw me even more than probably this one. But the design is very clear in it, which is fun too. So let's look at this one though. The reason why this is appealing, it's got a white background. The item pops like forward. It just kind of draws your eye, and you can see clearly it's got a thumb hole, and then it doesn't have individual fingers. So it's a really good one. And if it's a pattern, it says instant download. You can make them instant download. You used to have to just upload it and then you'd have to email it to everybody. But I love the instant download. So Etsy has solved a lot of problems over the years. This lady is called, or man, whoever it is, Daydreamer Knits. And if you want to favorite a shop, you just click on this little heart, but you have to be signed in to do it. You can see all their items here, 22 items. So if you have your store, then someone can come over here and go, well, I like what they have. Let's see what else they have. And we click on it. But before we do, you can also favorite an item this way. So you can favorite a shop and you can favorite an item. And then if you scroll down here, I want to say that you get a chance of 5 pictures. These are the 4 or 5 pictures. So, don't fret if you only have 3. Clearly they only have 3, but some products only need a couple of pictures. Some things you might need to show the inside of it, or some other special feature. Then, this person has 157 5-star feedback. So clearly I have picked a winner here. And what you want is you want feedback, and you want positive feedback, and you have to ask people for it. Now, a lot of people will freely give it if you were just over, up, and above. And but if you can also ask your customers, hey, do you mind giving me some feedback if you enjoyed what you purchased from me? Obviously you're not going to get feedback from someone who hasn't purchased your product. So if you have a friend do it, they need to purchase your product and then give you a review on here. You can also, gift somebody something, or you can, like say they're a pattern tester or something. I think you can gift it to them or sell it to them at like an incredible discount. Like maybe they pay you 5 cents for it. I don't know, but or whatever. I haven't tried the 5 cent thing, but I'm just saying if you're trying to get reviews. There's also shop policies. So you can click on this for reviews. You can click on this for policies. But the main big thing is here. Note, this is a PDF knitting pattern for gloves. So if you're writing a pattern, you need to tell people that. If you are if you have a mix of pattern and product, then you need to say, this is an actual set of gloves to purchase to wear, or something like that. This one says not the gloves themselves. So, and it says, if you purchase the PDF, you'll receive a link to download the pattern. That's very clear. If you want to purchase the actual gloves, please visit. See, she's actually got it to where you can do that. I'm going to pull that up, open link in new tab. So I'm going to make a tab, and we're going to click on that and find it. Now, I'm actually seeing it says this item is not available. So I'm going to click on it, and it says this item is unavailable. So it may be that it's out of stock right now, but look, it shows you more items that are similar on Etsy. Isn't that nice? But it does take you out of the store, right? So, but actually this looks like String and Story. So it's either she's got a second shop where she sells her stuff, or she's got a friend who does it. Okay. And that could be me. Like if I know that you sell it and I think you do a great job with your customers, I could put a link into something that you sell, an actual listing, and link it directly to you. So there's lots of ways you can work with people too. hand knit from this pattern by Holly Ann Knight of Misadventures here in Etsy. Okay, so I didn't even finish reading that, but that's where it was. So it was hand knit by someone. It could have been her pattern tester. A cabled tree grows from your wrist and spreads across the back of your hand. Warm and cozy, these fingerless gloves appeal to your natural side. Whether taking a chilly hike or picking the kids up from school, your hands will stay stylishly toasty. This knit pattern requires cabling and knitting in the round with double pointed needles. Sport weight yarn used. The pattern is clearly written and easy to follow charts. Sizes small, medium, and medium large. So anyway, isn't that great? So her site looks really nice. You have to be able to pick everything when you actually start your pattern, and then some of this will auto-populate, but this one says handmade supply. So you have to make sure and put it in the right category for all these to pop up right. She also accepts Etsy gift cards, which is really nice. And then this is Daydreamer Knits, and she's in Arkansas. So these are some of her other patterns. And then we can click up here to see more of her patterns here. And anyway, it's really nice. She's got patterns and products. And so that's really it on her. I just wanted you to see example of what someone's store looks like that's successful. If we go click back and click on, sorry, I'm moving this around. If I go and click on her, her reviews, then you can see what people say. Okay. And it just keeps going, read all reviews. And so it just keeps going on and on and on. You can even like click on somebody and see them, and you can actually follow that person. If you like what they had to say about somebody, you can go, click on it and see the items that they love. So, anyway, that's another great way to navigate Etsy. Okay. So some of you guys may already know all that stuff. Many of you, but I'm doing that for the benefit of everyone. Okay. So let's see, if you want to sell on Etsy, you click sell on Etsy, and it says open your Etsy shop. Okay. It talks about the low fees. The transaction fee is 3.5%. The power of tools. They have business tools on here, and support and education. This support and education is really impactful. This is where you need to really dig your teeth into. Okay, so this is this support and education. There are countless forums. There's helpers. There's people that really like to collaborate with people. Oh wow, I forgot to scroll, and y'all are talking to me, and I've missed some questions. So hold on. Let me flip. Stephanie says Carol's awesome. May consult for people. So you paid them to help start. It sounds like you have a customer base. Could be a subscription service. Okay, I'm gonna have to go back and read these. These are good. Yeah, even partner with other YouTubers. Yeah. Okay, sorry. I just want to catch up on my comments. Okay, so support and education. So this area, once you are an Etsy person, I know lots of Etsy people who don't actually take advantage of that, but and I don't do it to full extent, because you could sit and read all day long and get sucked in. But the most successful people are doing all of this stuff on Etsy, and many of them even have real storefronts now where they didn't before. So anyway, this is really good, and it helps you to sell, and they can help you. Okay, open your Etsy shop. And so you can sign in with Facebook or Google, or you can do an email. I've always done, let's do a shop underneath my own email or username. I don't like using this, because what happens if something happens with Facebook? So if you're going to do a business account, I would suggest that you actually sign, if you have an Etsy account already, you can sign in with your Etsy account. If you need to register, it's the same thing. I would not register with Facebook or Google. I honestly wouldn't. I mean, I don't know. Maybe you could do Google if you have a Gmail or something, but you're going to want to say, first name, last name, male or female, rather not say, all that stuff. And then I want to receive Etsy finds. It's an email of fresh trends and editor picks. That's a good one. If you get too many, you can choose which ones you want to get or not get. And, they are good for seeing trends, but your inbox can start filling up. And then you want to read the terms and privacy policy thing. I'm just scrolling down to give you a little bit more of the information. There's no monthly fees, and that's true. They do automatic deposits, which is really nice. You can actually set this now to where, like this automatic deposit, you can set that to where it is, there's like a threshold, like it won't do it until you have $10 or something like that, or whatever number you decide. The secure transactions, I mean, I can testify that this works really well. The seller protection, as far as I've seen, it works really well. I don't buy as much on Etsy as I sell, but I've never had a problem. The $20 20-cent listing fee, that's to like put it up. Listings that are inactive for 4 months or until they sell. Once purchased, there's a small commission fee and a standard payment processing fee. So the transaction fee is 3.5%, and then so to process it, it's like a quarter. So you've got 3% plus 0.25 on the processing. So all of this factors in. So each listing is 20 cents plus you've got processing, which is 0.25. So you've got 45 cents in there for that plus 3%. And so you really have to think about those things. Now, your shipping, you're going to factor in separately. Also, what Etsy does is they actually have, I don't know why they're not putting on this page, but there's a couple more benefits that you should be aware of. I'm going to flip the camera. That way you're not just looking at a screen. So Etsy, there's a couple really fantastic things about Etsy that I really love. You had to do PayPal, and I'm not going to set up an account in front of y'all today. So you're going to have to walk through that. If you have a question, you can ask me, but I'm not going to actually set up an account in front of you because they're sensitive information. Anyway, you'll have to figure some of that out and look at the forums, but, and I'll go in, I'll show you some of my back end of when it's already in there. But, anyway, you had to do just PayPal. Now you can accept credit cards, and they will take the credit cards, and that actually works even better. And then you just get it's deposited to your account directly. And you can also download spreadsheets to put in, so you can give to your bookkeeping person. I am my own bookkeeping person. And then I just report at the end of the year to my CPA. And then I have to file my own taxes. So I file with my state. And what Etsy does is, I'm just going to answer questions. Like, I'm going to approach it like if you're in the United States. If you're out of the United States, this won't apply to you, but I'm in Texas and we have to charge sales use tax. Okay. So if the sale originates in Texas, so if someone somewhere in Texas buys my item, I have to charge them sales tax. But if you're in Idaho, you don't get charged sales tax, and I don't have to pay a percentage of my sale in sales tax to Texas. So what you do is you set up, you need to check first. Okay. So you need to register your business and check first and see what your rate is. And then when you sign in on Etsy, before you make a sale, you need to program Etsy and say, okay, I live in this state and I have to charge tax here. Some states may have regulations to where if you are selling to another state, also you have to charge that tax in that other state as well. So Texas, I only have to charge tax for stuff in Texas. That being said, once I set that up, any sale, Etsy takes care of it. Okay. And then when I go through my reports, I need to write down all the sales that happen just in Texas and write down, so those are taxable sales. And I need to say, this is taxable sales and this is the tax coming out of it. And I have to pay, that. And then, I also have, then I have to write the total sales. Okay. And then there's total sales and there's taxable sales, and then I pay if the tax is figured out on that and it's rounded up, blah, blah, blah. Then there's VAT. The VAT is like a European tax. And here's where Etsy, it rocks, and Ravelry. Both Etsy and Ravelry do this well. If you have someone, who has to be charged VAT taxes, the rates are different. Okay. And so if you make a sale in, I don't know, I don't want to name some place, but if you make a sale in some place overseas and they need to charge VAT, what Etsy does is they figure out what your price is going to be, what your shipping is going to be. You've got all that, those automated things. And then you're going to, sorry, I want to say it in a non-confusing way. Then they figured out what you're going to get paid and what your fees are with Etsy. And then VAT is like added on separate. Okay. So, and I never see this money. Okay. I never see the VAT. I see the total sales, but technically I'm not having to deal with this in my bank account and then pay it back out to some European nation. And the rate varies. So I don't have to figure out the rate. I don't have to pay another country the rate. I don't have to convert anything, and Etsy takes care of it. Guess who doesn't? Craftsy. Craftsy does not. Craftsy is great if you are on the side of, I'm going to watch videos, I'm going to learn, I'm going to pay for classes, or they have some free classes, and all their apps and everything, they hand off to different apps and Apple TV or like an iPad or a phone, like picks back up on the class you did. You can have class notes. There's awesome stuff. You can buy products. You can download products. You can do all kinds of stuff. The problem is if you sell on Craftsy, you can't say, I only want to sell in the United States, or I only want to sell in Canada, or I only want to sell in Canada or North America. You can't say that. So there's no guarantee that somebody who's going to need VAT charged, there's no guarantee that they're not going to buy from you. It is your responsibility to pay VAT. What happens if you have a $2 item and VAT charge is $4? They are charged $6. I'm telling you, I have had that happen where the VAT charge was $4 on a $2 item. It was crazy. Okay. Can you imagine my dismay when someone pays for a pattern that's a $2 pattern and they're charged an extra $4, $6, and now I have to pay VAT $2. First of all, I have no idea who to pay. How do I even pay that? Why do I need to pay that? Yeah, I'm paying you to buy my pattern. No, I don't want to do that. So I'm telling you, when Craftsy came out and they're like, oh, you can do patterns on here. And I went, oh, that's really cool. And I would do it for the cool factor, honestly, because I think Craftsy's cool. I mean, come on, it's cool. They're very, it looks cool. It's just, I don't know. I like it. And, but the thing is, like, that would be insane. So it came out and I read all, I hate reading legal terms, y'all. I know I'm not the only one. I know a lot of times people breeze over stuff and click, but when it comes to financial stuff, you have to read it. And if you don't understand, don't do it. So I don't have a lawyer on my side. I can hire one, but I don't want to pay for that, right? Because I'm cheap. I'm just self-admitting I'm going to be cheap. And so I got to check my time. Okay. So, anyway, so it was confusing and it said that there was no guarantee about VAT and they weren't sure. And so I said, Margaret, the percentage is different depending on the country. I'm reading VAT isn't $4 on a $2 item. It's 20% purchase price. It's not possible for it to be. Okay. Well, I can tell you, I have an invoice where the VAT was higher than the actual item. I don't know how that's possible, but I don't have to deal with it, is my whole point. My whole point is there was something that they got charged more than I was actually charging for the item. So I don't need to deal with that. And if they have a tax that's on top of that, that's fine, but I don't have to deal with any of that on Etsy or Ravelry. And my point is, if you're going to use Craftsy, seller beware. So if you have to deal with VAT taxes and you're in the United States, then, okay, I'm answering for the United States. I don't know where you are. If you're in Australia, then you're in Australia. But I'm saying here where I am, I've seen the numbers on the back end. So anyway, point being, I've made sales where my item was less than how much that was. And I don't want to have to pay out that amount of money. Now, yes, if they're charged that and I don't want to sound stupid. I understand I understand that they would be charged that, and then therefore I would have that money in my bank to be able to send it back out. But guess what? I'm not paid for. I'm not paid for the time that it takes me to do that, right? Why should I have to do that? So here's the deal. Craftsy doesn't do it. It tells you on there that you are responsible. So anyway, they came out with that you could sell on Craftsy, and I waited like 6 months to a year. And then they came out with an article and they're like, oh, by the way, yeah, it's not going to work out. And we decided it was best for our company that we don't do that. And so we leave the responsibility on the seller. And I think that's crappy because Etsy will do it. So anyway, I'm all about Etsy, and there are other shop places that I don't know anything about. I think there's Artfire or something, and there's another one like Artisan or something. In fact, I think it was Artisan. They were the ones who posted in our Good Knit Kisses Luminant Craft Club the other day. They got me all fired up, like, don't advertise in my group. So romper room time. Morning, Mark. So they had actually advertised in our group, and they were like, hey, no fees for a year, and this and this and this. And they posted their phone number, and they posted all this stuff. And I thought, that's great, but don't abuse my group, So it's Craftsy's loss. People trade elsewhere. Yeah, it's fine. Craftsy, but I'm saying that I've seen some other crafters posting their patterns on there, and I'm thinking it's fine for free patterns. But anyway, yeah, always read before you sell. So that was me on my little box. Okay. Anyway, but I get there's different percentages, and honestly, I don't care. What I care about is my time. My time is worth something. Your time is worth something. And if someone's got it programmed in to automate and do it for us and for the company, because they have to automate that, then I would rather just give my money to another company. I would rather pay a higher listing fee for them to handle that for me, because my time is worth more. So if I have to pay 20 cents and my time is worth 20 cents, then it's better than me spending an hour or 2 hours on something where I'm super losing money. So anyway, especially when you know how long it takes to knit and crochet up a whole batch of stuff. So rant over. Okay. So do y'all want to see the back end of where mine is? And do you have a specific question? Margaret says definitely they need to program it if they want people to use their infrastructure. Yeah, but what I'm saying is I think that some people aren't actually reading that. I'm concerned that there are crafters who are on there and they're not doing it, or they're like, okay, now I'll just do this. I'm a rule follower. I am a taxpayer. Do I like to pay taxes? No. Do I want government after me? No. And so I pay my taxes. Be a responsible citizen and pay your taxes. So if you want to avoid that stuff, then that's up to you. But I'm telling you, for all the rule followers out there, be aware of the rules. I know you never read the legal terms, Anne-Marie, but you will get yourself into trouble if you don't. So anyway, Etsy rocks and Craftsy doesn't. Well, Craftsy does on so many levels. It boggles my mind what they're so good at computer-wise and why they can't automate that system. It seems... Okay, I told you my rant was over and I need to shut up. Margaret, agree. Can't protect stupid from themselves. It's great you warn them, but unfortunately some figure easier to wait until it blows up. I pay my taxes. Yeah, I don't wait for that to blow up on me. I'm not going to call anybody stupid for using their services. I just think that they didn't bother reading that part. And if you decide to ignore, be ignorant of what is there, then unfortunately you bear the burden of your risk. So, hopefully it doesn't haunt you. Hopefully it doesn't haunt you in several years when it backs up and then they decide that you get extra fees on top because you waited so long. So, Kristen, stop talking about it. All right. Okay. I'm going to go into the Etsy dashboard here and I'm going to show you what it is. And I am going to let you see some of my numbers. Okay. And I'm not sure what you'll see, but I'm going to let you see some of it. I'm just not going to let you see like things like my address and phone number kind of thing. I don't care if you know how much I get on here, because I just want you to see it. Okay, y'all start asking me your questions on Etsy, because there's a lot to just show you and tell you. Let me see. I'm going to view, zoom in. Let's see if I can make this bigger for you. Can y'all see this okay? Let me know. I can zoom in even more. I don't have a screen share program going on right now. I'm going to make this small so I know what's in and out of frame for you. Okay, let me turn. Here we go. Okay. So this is my Etsy dashboard. When I log into Etsy.com, let's see. Let me just go to the main thing. So when I log into Etsy.com, but it remembers me, it tells me, home, favorites. Like if I click on this, it'll show you my favorites. My shop has 7 notifications in it at the moment. It means I have a message in here, and then I need to address that. It's showing a video in here and asks what I'm shopping and recently viewed, recently favorites, all that kind of stuff. It shows me stuff. So, it's clear. Okay, good. So yeah, I zoomed in like twice the amount. So just in case. So let's see my shop. If I click on my shop, I get this nice little pop-up. Okay. And so I can go and view my shop, or I can edit, quick links, dashboard, stats, all this stuff. Listings. This is when you want to sell something. Okay. So listings manager manages what you've actually got on there. And then if you want to actually add a listing, this is where you go. Shipping settings, earn free listings. Tell me if y'all want to see my shop that I can edit, or like what you want to see. Because we had the question about Etsy, and I need to know specifically, because I could completely start talking about the wrong thing that you were wanting to know. I don't really have a goal here other than to talk to you about Etsy, and we can do another video on Etsy next week if we want to continue. So, right now, until I get an answer, I'm just going to kind of guess. So for a second, let's just go in order. We're going to view my shop. So this is my shop. And when I scroll down, I see the logo that I've uploaded, and they've got it actually pinnable. So if I want to pin this, I can on Pinterest. This is the name of my shop. Now my business name, my official business name is Good Knit Space Kisses. They wouldn't let me do something that had 2 capitals like together in there. But, so it's Good Knit Space Kisses, my official name, but I actually copyright under this as well. And then, this is a description of my shop, knit and loom knit and crochet patterns in PDF, because that's mainly what I sell. I'm in Keller, Texas, and I have 681 sales, and I've been on Etsy since 2010. So I've been on Etsy, it's October 2010. So in October, it will be, excuse me, it will be my little Etsy anniversary. And then I've got 55 reviews, and I've got a 5-star rating. And then this is where I would edit my shop. And then I've got shop favorites, because when I see somebody that's one of my customers and they have a shop or something, I might favorite them, right? Let's see. So about half of my people, I've got half of my sales are shops, and some of them are just customers, and I just did it in case they had a shop later. And then the shop owner is me. So I'm listed as the owner. So it actually puts my name on here. And then I've got a logo for my face instead of putting my face on there, but I could change that. And then I've got 19 items. And then these right here, the 4 right here are featured, and you can make featured items, and you can rotate the items that get featured. Otherwise, you can just say, oh, I only want this one item featured, so you can actually rotate this here. Oh, it's up to me. I know best. Thanks, Ada. Okay. And Ada, I think you said you have a shop. And we could do like a little, test here in the group. If you guys want me to go to your shop and kind of give you my thoughts on it live, I could do that. And then we could get some feedback from everybody who's live. We could do that over the next several weeks. If people want, we can just pick a shop and go check it out. And, anyway, let's see, what else do I want to show you? Okay. So I'm trying to think about where I want to do. Okay. So this is my book. And this is the ebook form, okay, not the printed book. And so if I click on it, we'll show that, I'll show you what that listing looks like, but, I'm not here to sell you today. Okay. I just want you to know, I'm not selling you today. I'm just using this as an example. I mean, if you want to buy something, that's great. But, this is the Bobble Button Newsboy hat. And then my, Chic Retreat cowl, which also is written as loom knit drop stitch cowl. So here's the tip. I was coming up with all these cool, fun names, right? And then I discovered that the better way to sell them is to be more generic in how you write your name. So it's the Bobble Button Newsboy hat, but I might write the title more generically: loom knit bobble hat, newsboy pattern. Okay. Loom knit drop stitch, cowl. And I write pattern. I like to write pattern in all caps. That's just the way I do it. This is the Marshmallow Crochet Baby Blanket, and I call it Crochet Baby Blanket Pattern. You know, so that's really, really what I do. And then you can click on items and it will go to all the items in the store. Here's where it sings. I like this about Etsy. So you can make categories. And so this is all my categories here, but you can click on just loom knit patterns. You can click on patterns that are needle and loom. You can click on crochet patterns. So I have 2 crochet patterns listed, and you can click on ebook. So if I clicked on ebook, it would only show this one. Let's see what happens when I click crochet patterns. Look, there's just these 2, right? And then see how generic I was? Crochet baby hat. Okay, that's it. And I also wrote the name of the pattern. So let's look at this for a second. So I'm going to click on this one. It says the name of the title of this is, where is it? Where's my title? Oh, it's right there in front of me. Crochet Baby Hat Pattern. Okay. And then I wrote Marshmallow Crochet Baby Hat Pattern with video. Well, you're not actually getting the video. You're getting the links to the video. Anyway, it's $1.99. You can ask me a question about it and it messages me, and then the little thing will come up here. So if you have a question asked to you, it will come up in this little conversations area. If you... okay, and it tells you it's a handmade supply, and it's an instant download. It's one PDF included, and it tells you my feedback, and then it's favorited by 3 people. And I can actually click and see who is favorited. I can add it to my cart, and I can add things to my cart and then have multiple things or just one thing. And then I can add it to favorites and even like a drop down. Oh, whoa, you can't add my, okay. So if I was on someone else's shop, I could add it to a list. And let's see, these are all the pictures in it. So I've got 5 pictures. I'm using my maximum amount of pictures because I want you to see all the things. So these are all my pictures. And I have a standard way I like to photograph. There are a couple of ways that I like to photograph. This is my floor. This is actually my wood floor. But if we ever move, I might go buy a vinyl. You can actually buy a vinyl. You can get a white wood. You can get a dark wood. You can get any kind of background you want. And then, so if you don't have a great, sorry, my computer is giving me some alerts here. If you don't have a great background at home or a clean area, you can unroll a vinyl that has the background you want, and you can buy those online. And, sorry, I am getting, wow. I'm getting a ton of texts and notifications right now. It's crazy. My phone's blowing up. So anyway, if you keep clicking, it flips to the next one. You can tell it which one you want featured. And then of course, this is my item detail. And I tell you more than that other lady did. I give you a lot of information. Also, if you have a Ravelry shop, what I do is I take this and I scroll down. And once I have the pattern in here, whoops, this is my quick thing. Whoops. I copy and then I paste it in Ravelry. And so, and I even, like, sometimes what I want to do is use the same name. So I might actually go in to edit this and write exactly whatever I put as a title name here. And then I would add it like at the bottom of this and paste it. And then I would copy everything and then cancel it and then go into Ravelry and list it the same way. And then that way I can cut this out as the, I can use this as the the pattern name. Or like I'll put 2 different windows up and I'll just copy the thing that I want, copy and use that pattern name and put it in Etsy. I mean, in Ravelry. And there's certain restrictions in Ravelry as how you can name stuff. But anyway, you can edit from here. You can renew the listing. You can promote it. That means like you're trying to do advertisements all over Etsy and wherever else. You can copy this and like duplicate it. You can deactivate the pattern completely, and you can delete it so it's not there at all. Deactivate. This is like if you need to stop selling this, you can completely stop selling it and it's not listed at all. And then you can click on the stats. Okay, so make sure, yeah, okay, so, oh, Gayla, thank you. I'm glad you love the books. Margaret says, I moved my patterns to Ravelry. It was easier due to the way they did listings. Yeah, so quick thing. So Ravelry, here's 2 differences in Ravelry and Etsy. Ravelry rocks, okay? Etsy rocks, but for 2 different reasons. I love it's called the GUI interface, the way the interface is, the way that you see in pictorially in Etsy looks amazing. Okay. And it works really well. Ravelry to me is very archaic in the way it works, but it works really well because it's a really well maintained database. Ravelry rocks on that level where Etsy goes down in my book. What I do not like about Etsy, and I've complained trying to get us change, and I need more people to complain, honestly. But Ravelry, if I have a pattern, now on the pattern side, if I want to sell my pattern and then I'm like, oh, I need to update the pattern, or maybe it would be cool if I could add a chart to help my customers, right? Yeah, that would be cool, right? Well, if you do that on Etsy, you're updating the listing. Here's the problem. If someone has purchased an old listing and you try and tell them, hey, go check out the listing and re-download stuff, doesn't do anything for them because Etsy's database only remembers the old listing and the old order and the old thing that you can give them. And it will not let them see new stuff in your new listing. Even if it's the same listing that you updated, it will not let them see an updated listing. In Ravelry, I can actually go in the back end, add in a chart, message, it's super easy, message my customers, all of them, and say, hey, I added a chart. Go download your chart. I can actually choose if I want to have it sent to them. I can email them and I can message them through Ravelry messaging system. So usually I choose both because some people only do email and some people actually look at the Etsy messaging system. I like to do email for people like me who are not always on, did I say Etsy? I'm not always on the Ravelry system. So anyway, that's where Ravelry rocks. However, here's the thing. There's something called in business revenue streams, especially social media wise. So, and I know that some people love Facebook, and then those people usually can't stand Twitter, right? There will be Twitter people who can't stand Facebook. They're never going to be on it. There are people who can't stand Etsy. They're never going to be on it. They are Ravelry all the way. There are people who can't stand Ravelry. They hate it, or they don't know about it, or they don't appreciate it, and they don't know how to navigate it, and so they're on there. These are 2 different people. Do you want to provide a service for both people, or one or the other? That's what you have to decide for your business. So if you decide to sell on both, you are getting to sell to both. If you decide to sell on only one or the other, then hopefully you market that so well that people know you only can get on here. If you want my patterns, you have to buy it on here. Okay. So that's completely up to you. There's nothing wrong with that. There is nothing right about what I do and wrong with someone else, or wrong with them and right with me. Okay. There's nothing. It's just up to you. Margaret says, yes, a huge challenge is finding patterns by word search and making sure all tags and metadata is well chosen. I need to go back to that. Graphical user interface. Thank you, Margaret, for explaining. I should have said that. I just said GUI. You love Ravelry because you're a database girl. Yeah, I kind of thought you were, Joanne. Well, because of the cool things that you make, and they're very like numbers based and stuff. I bet you like love that. If you ever need to like chart one of your patterns, if you don't have the software for it, we should chat, because I do have that capability. Margaret, you totally know where it's at. They charge money. Yeah, Ravelry and Etsy both charge a fee. They're just different. Yeah, Ravelry, you love that they send updates to you. Yeah, I love it. It makes it, on Etsy, makes it really difficult. What I had, my workaround for Etsy, so as it pertains to Etsy, here's my workaround, because you always have to find a way to serve your customers, right? And I'm just starting to do this. So when I had updates to the book, because I've had a few updates, because this came out with this in November, right? And it came out as an ebook first, if you're familiar with it at all. It came out as an ebook, and everybody was like, oh, I want it as a hard copy. I need a paperback, right? And so that didn't happen until June, and then it didn't start shipping until July. But I had a couple of updates, right? And so I needed to, because I added some things to the book, and then I tweaked some things that maybe I found a mistake in. And so anyway, I needed to communicate that. So after my frustration, what I ended up doing is I got a customer database made. And by the way, the way they do the Etsy customer database, it took me a little while to figure out how to get all the emails right. But once I got all that, I emailed them and I said, okay, this is what you're going to do. You're going to need to download, here's a private link on a Dropbox account to download this file. And after so many days, I'm going to delete it. But this is my solution for you. So I don't even think I've disabled that yet. But when I need the space, I'll be taking that off. Margaret avoids the Twitter is what she says. Kayla's had a hard time with Ravelry. Yeah, Joanne. Yeah, great point about marketing in different sites. Yeah. Margaret says, try to do both. You can also list Etsy patterns on Ravelry. Yeah. Oh, by the way, here's another tip. Also the reason why I market myself on Etsy. I'm a YouTuber, right? Here's a tip about YouTube. Well, I'm a YouTube partner, which means I have a certain level of things that are available to me. One of the things that's available to me is are cards. Have you seen when you're looking at your video on your phone or on the desktop or laptop, tablet, whatever, you see in the upper right-hand corner, you see a little eye for icon, and you click on it, or I for information. You click on it, and this white bar kind of pulls down, and you'll see like something advertised. You'll say, oh, the website, or anyway, you might have noticed on some of my stuff, here's a pattern. So I'm teaching about this thing, like a marshmallow crochet baby blanket. Okay, I'm teaching about that baby blanket, and I'm like, click for patterns. You click on it, and then you can see the pattern, a picture of it, and say, get the digital patterns. You click on it, and it goes to a website, and you can buy the pattern, or you can see the pattern, right? So, or the ability to do it. Only approved sites through the YouTube database, merch sites, merchandising, only approved merch vendors with YouTube get to be on a card. And Etsy is one of them. Ravelry is not, because they don't know who Ravelry is and they don't care. You know, I can ask, but you know, the response has been nothing. So not no, but just nothing. And so you have to be able to use approved merch. Like if you have a Shopify account, I think it's Shopify. If you have a Shopify account, then or store, then you can send people to that because that's an approved merch vendor. There's a whole list. There's probably 100 approved places, but Etsy for us happens to be on there. So that's a tip. So if you make a video and you want to, like say you have a YouTube account, it's just me as a YouTuber giving you a YouTube tips, or if you want to start one for your company, good idea. You can promote your pattern on YouTube. Throw up a couple pictures and be like, hey, this is a new pattern that I have. Even if you don't want to talk and you want to write what it is and just throw pictures up, and then you can have a link down below in your video. And then maybe later, if you ever become a partner, you would be able to pull up those cards, or if they make it available outside of partners. I never know when they make stuff available, because certain things that used to be really hard to get are now easier to get. So I don't know what's what anymore. Like, I just know what I can do. So, and that it was unlocked to me, but before where it was locked and I didn't even know about it. So anyway, that would be a great way to market yourself too. You can market yourself on YouTube, throw up some pictures of the thing you made. Joanne, your loom knit skirt, the twirly skirt, is gorgeous, and I can't wait. And I think that I would want to challenge you. Why don't you make a video about that you have this new pattern up, and then promote your link on Ravelry or Etsy, wherever you are, or both. So anyway, list your pattern there. You can also use Gumroad, which is what I used for my book. It's just another vehicle for that. It's really frustrating and annoying. So unless you have a really good reason like I did to use it, then I wouldn't use it. Joanne Gay, yeah, my nerd comes out. I would love to look into charting software. I use Intertwined Studio. So just like Good Knit Kisses, where you smush everything together, Intertwined, and then Studio with a capital S, like no spaces. I like that one. Love to look at charting software. Okay, Margaret says, I don't like the way Etsy does a listing fee. You're going to have to pay a listing fee in many places. You're going to have to pay something somewhere at some time. So you need to look at all the different fees involved and see what works for you. I would suggest making things the same price across the board. So if you have to raise prices everywhere to be able to accommodate that, then I would just make them the same everywhere. That way people aren't like, oh, it's cheaper on this. Or if you want to make it more expensive on Etsy, which you don't like as much, then you could have it cheaper on Ravelry, so that you direct, like, hey, if you'll buy from Ravelry, it's cheaper. You know, I don't know, that would have to be your thing. So, oh, I have someone here at my door and I can't get it. So I'm just going to keep going. I hope it's not the person who was supposed to come at 11, because I don't have time to talk to her. And, anyway, hang on a second. I'm going to text her back. Okay, sorry. So that was one of my messages. I had several messages pop up, and that was one that I saw. She says, can I come early? And I'm like, no, but I couldn't respond. Hey, good morning, Robin. I see you joined up. Patty, thank you for the compliments on my necklace. You can make it too. Got a video on it. The crochet button necklace. It's super, super easy. Margaret, nice to keep it all accessible. Yeah. Hey, good afternoon, Patricia. It's still morning for me. Anyway, so that, I think I'm caught up on things. Oh, Margaret says, try to do both. You can also list Etsy patterns on Ravelry without uploading as a product on Ravelry. Yeah. And the other thing is so you can actually list, a pattern on Ravelry. This is kind of turning into a Ravelry day too. You can list a pattern on Ravelry and say that the pattern link is X, and so you're not actually having to upload anything on Ravelry, and you can send people there. You can actually say it's at this place, or you can buy it on Ravelry. You can do both. I would suggest not sending someone only outside of Ravelry. I would suggest, if you're going to bother doing that at all, if you're selling a pattern or you want to make the PDF available, then I would put it on Ravelry. If you are simply trying to drive traffic to your website, then I guess don't upload anything to Ravelry, and then you would have a link to your website. So if you were you just really want that traffic on your website, then do that. Good morning, Crystal. I see you. So anyway, so someone wanted me, Ada, was you the one, who was the one who wanted me to look at their Etsy store? Because I could just do that. Or if y'all want me to look back at Kristen's store, I can do that too. So if you want me to look at my store and show you how I have tags and stuff, maybe I should get back to that. Let me flip the camera again. All right, so this is the listing we were at. Let's go look at, do y'all want to see this crochet one, or do you want to see the other? I'm going to show you my crochet one. My crochet one sells really well, this baby blanket one. By the way, I have patterns that are needle and loom, these all cross over. Okay, so these have needle patterns as well. And so if you're on loom, you can make it dual. Like, so I have an instant download and it includes both patterns in it. And then on here, this was the one that was made on needles. And then I wrote needle knit. And then I also show what it looks like loom knit. So I've got all the pictures here to show you. And then this is someone else that made it. This is a test knitter of mine that made it. So it just shows it in a different fabric. Okay, so that's that. And then let me go back to crochet. Oh, here's my loom knit patterns. So you can scroll through. Those are the ones that I have. And then, oh, that's my baby boy. And then crochet patterns. Okay, so here we go. Marshmallow crochet. This is the one, and it does really well. The picture is very clear. You can read this. What I did is I have white, but I have like a shadow effect for the black on here to make it stand out against some of the white background. And then of course I put my logo on here. I don't always put my logo, but I'm really trying to because people have been stealing my images. And then I just click through and show you, like, this is it all laid out. This is a sort of a black and white version. And I did this because I wanted people to see, like not see the color on it, but imagine another color in place. You know what I'm saying? So that actually might be something. I don't know if that was appealing to someone, but that might have appealed to someone that way. And then this was me just showing it that it's crocheted, because I do so many knit stuff. I don't want people to think that it's knit, even though it clearly says crochet. So then I scroll down and then I tell them, I'm like, this is the pattern, and I write all the gooey, fluffy information about it. And then I give them the link to the crochet along tutorial. And then I tell them it's a digital download. It's also free on my blog. Okay, so here it is. This is what I do for things that I put on my blog for free. And if you ever put something on my blog for free, you can sell the digital pattern as a kind of a courtesy thing for them to buy the pattern. You can totally do that. It says, this is a digital pattern copy of my free blog and video patterns. Support by paying for PDFs. Go to my YouTube, and blog pattern supports the GKK resource website and free tutorials coming to the public. Thank you for your support. So that basically is telling you that this supports me, and I know that you can get the pattern for free on my website, but it's $1.99. Honestly, it's that price because I'm going to show you, or I can't show you on here, but on Ravelry, I actually make this pattern available and all my patterns available to local yarn shops, local yarn stores, so that they can buy it at a discount and sell it to their people there in the store. And I actually do sell patterns that way. So that's another way to add revenue, but you're going to give them a deep discount. So I had to raise my patterns to $1.99 instead of $1.25, like what I first started to do, because of the percentages taken off. And then I just wrote, this pattern is original to me. If you do sell your item, please list Kristen Mangus at Good Knit Kisses as the designer. You don't have to do that, but I really would like you to do that. Anyway, and I just double checked to show them this item as a PDF. Anyway, and I give all that. And then I've got some reviews from people on stuff, the general reviews that I want people to see. So I went ahead and actually put that on my copy here. It's not all my reviews, but I thought these were pretty nice. I mean, Bethany Daly from Getting It Peg says, what a great project. Thanks for all the video links too. That's a great review. So I copied it and put it here and gave her accreditation, right? And so if people do that, you can add them on here. So even if you get somebody who doesn't, if you get somebody on here who doesn't do the review for you, but they write you a nice email, you can put their feedback here. And then down at the bottom, of course, it tells you meet the owner. And then, I guess I do have one of my pictures on here. So it has a meet the owner area, and you can learn more about me here. So how do I put the logo on my product? Patty, I do that by using an app. I use an app called, I think it's Watermark. Hold on, let me see if I can find my app real quick. I use something called Watermark here. And then it remembers my logo. Well, that's actually not my watermark. I messed this up last time I was trying to show everybody, and I grabbed the wrong watermark. So it doesn't have this line around it. But I had a logo created for me. I purchased, I spent money on getting a logo created in a wire form. So this is actually not the one I'm showing you on my other backup phone. So I would pick my watermark image, and then once I had the image, then I pick my photo from my library, and then I would pick like this, and then I would put my logo, right on it, and then I can change the strength of it. See, so I could do that. Okay. And then I just click my check button and then hit the little share button and hit save in library, and then it's saved. And so that's how I do it. And then I basically download that and get it onto wherever I need it. But yeah, PNG with transparencies. That's how that's how I have it, but someone made it for me. Okay. You can use Fiverr, Fivver, and there will be people who will make things for you. You can get stuff for a good price there. Different. I mean, it might be $5, it might be more, and you could get a professional to make something for you. That's not how I did it, but because I researched and got someone. So this is actually a wireform transparent logo here. But you can change the ratio of the transparency in that app and other apps. There's tons of apps out there. That's just the one I use. I think it was a free one. No, that might have been a paid one, like for 99 cents or something. And then my helpers, so I bought the app and gifted it to Carol in case she needed to put a logo on there. I think I gave it to Carol. I think I gave it to Nikki too. So I gifted it to them. Anyway, so that's basically it. And then if I want to go in and edit, I can go edit, and y'all are going to see what it looks like on the back end here. So this is what the pattern name looks like. It's really, really long. It's crazy long. I just did that for SEO purposes, search engine optimization. So if people are searching for this name here, if they're familiar with this name, then that will appear because my SEO finds that word. And then the SEO for the organic search in here, if someone is searching for this, then they will find it. Crochet baby blanket. If they're typing that in, they will find it organically, meaning they actually searched for it. I didn't actually pay for them to see it. I don't usually, I say usual, I have done some advertising, but I don't usually pay for advertising. It's all organic. Here's my photos. I can add one more photo. I can also click and drag. Let's see, I'm sorry, I'm getting an alert. Hold on, snooze. I can click and drag and rearrange which photo is first. And of course we can edit, we can adjust the thumbnail. Okay, and then here's the title. This is where I want to change it anywhere in here. And it tells you how many characters you have left, I think. Yeah. So it tells you how many characters you have left. So you can have like an enormously long thing. This says include keywords that buyers would use to search for your items. So I'm searching on these keywords here and these keywords here, okay, or marshmallow crochet. So if someone types marshmallow crochet, they're going to find it. If someone types marshmallow crochet baby or crochet baby blanket, then they'll find it too. So anyway, and so how I list it is I say, it says who made it? Select the maker. I did it, a member of my shop, or another company. So you can actually have another member of your shop there. So I did it, and then I clicked it in a supply. So because this is what is it, you select it if it's a finished product or supply, and then when it was made. And so I give it a range, because you can go down to vintage down here, down here, and then you can also learn more. So Etsy has a lot of these learn things. If you do this, I always say that you click on it and open a new tab to learn more. And so you can just come back to this. So click on here and it says what can be sold on Etsy. This is a great thing to see. And the fact that they put it in here is super. That's where Etsy rocks, because those things are right there. Now some of it Ravelry is, but some Ravelry stuff is not intuitive and they don't have that right there for you. Anyway, so it lists this is a handmade supply, right? Because you picked supply or tool. It would say this is a finished product. Remember the listing, and it was over here and it said this is a handmade supply. That's how it knows that, because you selected this. Category, I'm in the craft supplies and tools category. And then I clicked on, for the category here, I clicked patterns and tutorials. And then I clicked in fiber arts, right? I didn't click on sewing and needlecraft. I clicked in fiber arts. Okay. And then I clicked on crochet. There's still nothing for loom knitting. So when I'm doing loom knitting, I just type knitting. Okay. But Ravelry, you can now say loom knitting. And then it tells you how people find it. So basically all this is doing is it's just telling you the breakdown of where people will find it. They'll find it in this area and they'll find it in this area. Okay. Price. I've got my price and apply shop taxes. This is the shop tax rates that we were talking about. Quantity 10. Okay. For quantities greater than 1, this listing will renew automatically until it sells out. You'll be charged 20 cents for listing each time. Okay. So, that if you change this, and list it again, it will, once it lists it again, it'll charge. Renewal options. I have it set to, be automatic. This listing will auto renew as it expires, for 20 cents, each time. So if this is going for 6 months and, or whenever it expires, it will just list it again. I don't have to do anything about it. So, if you've messed this up previously, you can go in and check your listings and make sure it's on automatic. Type, physical or digital, a tangible item you will ship to buyers. So if this was like, say you're selling a loom or something, a tool, then you would click physical. Digital, you click this if they're going to download it. If you're going to actually ship them a book, like say it's a book that you wrote, it's a hard copy print or something, then you could click physical and I could actually sell my book. I don't do that because my husband won't let me. He wants me to do everything digital. Honestly, that's the reason. Description. So here's my description that you saw earlier. I would suggest that you take something that you like of someone else's, copy it, and then write what you want to emulate down next to it. Don't copy like word for word. I just mean use it as a guide. Write your thing and then erase theirs, and then write your thing and erase theirs. And when you write your thing, don't word it how they did. It's just a guide. Okay. It's just meant to be helpful so that you can kind of hit all the points. So if you like all the points that I hit, then, use it as a guide. You're not plagiarizing if you're changing all the words. I'm just saying, if you're like, okay, so I want, to write feel good language, if you want to make your own template of what I do here, this is my feel good language and it gets all my words in there, my SEO, my meta tags, all that data stuff that it's going to search through for SEO, search engine optimization, and for people to find you organically. And then if you have an extra link or something that you want them to see, you can do that. Usually people aren't doing that. I just happen to. And then here's my copy about the warning, any kind of warning or notice that you need to tell them. This is a thing about copying and all that kind of stuff. This is a note just to remind that it's a digital download. And this is kind of housekeeping information. This is this is copyright information about personal use. And then I say, welcome, I'd like to tell you a little story. And so I tell them, why I got started. This is what I say. When I started learning to read patterns, I got so frustrated with books and flat drawings that didn't have any movement to show me the process of making the stitches and technique. Like so many of you, I'm a visual learner, but finding out it's more kinetic, where you have to hear and see things in motion in order to learn. So I created Good Knit Kisses and started making video tutorials to help others. I knew I couldn't be alone. See, look, I've got a typo. I knew I couldn't be alone. Okay. All right. So I had a typo and I didn't even know it. You will, here's a typo, find my patterns are chock full of videos, links to techniques, stitches, and even full video tutorials in a make-along format. I'm going to copy this and edit another thing because I want to make sure that I didn't have that bad somewhere else. And so I've got my reviews from people, and then I'm good to go. And I put it in my section that I have generated. And if I don't have one, so these are the sections that we saw earlier. And hey, look, you didn't see this. Jewelry, cocoons, hats, loveys. That's when I was selling individual products, right? So those are inactive sections because nothing's in it right now. And then you can also add a section. I don't know if you can read that. It's pretty small, but you can add a section. So if you didn't set it up before, you can do it here. And then this is where the digital file resides. So if I have to update this, first before you delete this, I would suggest uploading the file. And you can have multiple files. It says add up to 4 more files. So you can do 5 files. And then you want to, delete the one that's old. And then you can also add a note for buyers. So if you click on add note for buyers, you can go to this page, which is I've set up. This is about setting up your shop. It says new and better way to edit your shop. Take me there. This is like a tutorial thing. And this is the thing that we saw earlier about my shop title. This is where I put my icon in. This is where I have like a little banner. That's my son. That's when I was having that postpartum depression and I started the company. And so I've left that picture up just for nostalgia reasons. Local markets, show upcoming local markets. Will you attend on your shop page? Anyway, I just had that clicked. I can add in links to everything, my Facebook, my Twitter. I can change that. There's some, this is just telling you to enable this so people can find you. Here's my shop announcement. Here's my message to my buyers, and message to buyers for digital items. And so that if they buy a digital product, they'll get this. Okay. And then I tell them, for more information, visit me here. And then it says, if you sell digital items, we include this message in the downloads page for digital orders. It applies to all digital listings purchased. And then you can learn more about selling that. So you can save changes there. I'm going to go back to my other tab because it still remains up. So just so you know, when you click on that, it actually it actually just opened another tab for me. I didn't even right click and do it. It just did it for me. And then search items. This is really important. So this one you get, I think it's like 13 tags. Yeah, 13 tags. And you can learn more about how does search work on Etsy. You want to be kind of generic about this. You can get ideas for tags over here. And then like this one says crochet baby blanket. So it's part of those generic words I said. It's a pattern. And I write GKK because sometimes people look me up by GKK. I write Kristen Mangus because sometimes people look me up by my name. I write Good Knit Kisses without spaces. I write Good Knit Kisses with a space. I write marshmallow and I write crochet baby blanket. And I also write tutorial and video and striped and banded. So these are words that all are relevant to what I'm selling, right? And if they're not relevant, like if you're trying to clickbait people, like you wouldn't write, sex on there and try and get their boobs, and get people who are searching for that to follow up. If that's not about that, if you're making a knitting pattern that is a booby beanie, then write boobs or, whatever, or breast, you would write that. But if I'm not making one of those hats that looks like a nipple, then I'm not going to write that. Materials, I write yarn. I mean, you don't have to do that. It's just an optional thing. If it's a material like an actual made item, you certainly need to write that. And if you are using a certain, like if you're using a special Noro yarn or something, then you can write that. You might want to write the contents of the product that you made. If it's wool, if it's alpaca, if it's yak fiber, if it's milk fiber, what is it? Is an occasion. Okay, so here's the thing. So I am not an expert on this area. Now this is occasion. So what I don't want to do is I'm not putting an occasion because I'm trying to kind of be a one also, I'm not trying to say, okay, this is only for birthdays. But if you have something very specific, like you've got a Chinese New Year pattern, then totally do it. Okay. So if you've got something that has to do with a holiday, completely add that in there. Okay. I don't really feel like I need to do that for my stuff. Now, if I have something specific, I will. Now sympathy, if I write, there's a sympathy thing on here. I'm not sure why y'all can't see it in here. I can't get my browser to, hey, maybe I'll do this. Hang on. Sorry. I was trying to get my browser to show you. Okay. So down here somewhere, it says sympathy. I made these crochet wings yesterday and Kathleen, had just lost her dad. And so I ended up making that tutorial first yesterday. And so that video, I actually edited it last night and I'm going to upload it probably this weekend. But I might actually, when I do the pattern, I might actually put that under sympathy because and if I can add extra, let me see if I can. No, I don't want to do it. But if I can add extra occasions, I'll probably do that because I might actually put it under baby as well. Style, if you have a style, and then recipient. Okay, so if the person is supposed to be only for women, then that's what you would do. If it's just for babies, you would do that. So there's, and you can say not specified, but I don't even write not specified. I just say none. So I'm done with my listing, but I still need to publish it because I had an edit. If I go up to the top, hold on. Yeah, okay, I've got everything I need. So I'm going to hit publish. And then what that's going to do is it's going to update it and get the my grammar was wrong, my spelling was wrong or something. I forget what it was. Also, here's stats, and you can check on my stats. Here's how the pattern has performed. Let me open this up a little bit more. Let me scroll through your comments. Y'all can kind of gaze at my stats here. I'm going to have to end this broadcast very soon. Anne Marie, I used my TV remote to try and turn up the volume on your video on my laptop. Yikes. So glad it's Friday. I'm sorry. I'm sorry I was not loud, but yay, it's Friday. Joanne says, yak fiber. Margaret says, crochet spiderweb hop earrings for Halloween. Yeah, you could totally do that. So here's my stats. This is analytics of what's going on. It's analyzing your sales and your listings. So I had at the peak here back on September 5th, I had 12 listing views. And the next peak I had was actually Tuesday of this week, and I had 13 listing views. And where I have, let's see what happened on these times. Okay, this one where there's little, I'm trying to remember where this is. Events on. I'm not sure what this icon is. Actually, that's interesting. I don't know what this icon is. If someone knows, tell me. But anyway, there's like a little icon here. Hover. Okay. Well, I guess there was outstanding events happening that day. When I hover on here, listing renewed one time. Listing renewed one time. Okay, so my listing was renewed on those days. So that means that I ran out or I sold it or whatever. Okay, it's only in one person's favorites, but I've got 163 views. This is only for the last 30 days. So like, let's look at today. So this is today. So at 3 a.m. and at 5 a.m. and at 9 a.m., this is what happened today. If I want to look at it, last 30 days, you can see what's going on in the pattern. You can see where they're coming from, the overall. Overall, they're coming from Etsy, or they're coming from Google Images or the Etsy app. So Etsy app and Etsy.com are still Etsy. There's Etsy Mini. And then there's direct traffic. That's stuff that I'm directing it directly there. And then these are Google searches and Bing and stuff. Within Etsy, this is my shop. So these are searches on Etsy or recommendations from Etsy, and then my shop. So I actually had 80 recommendations from Etsy and then in searches, and then my shop was actually 49. So anyway, here's also some things. So it's showing that this is what people are searching. So they're searching crochet baby blanket pattern, and or this one is crochet baby blanket patterns with an S. This one is in another language. Then someone wrote marshmallow crochet stitch baby blanket YouTube. Okay, someone actually wrote that. This one searched for Goodknit Kisses. So see, they looked for my business name. Go to the next page, and knitting pattern baby blankets. Not as many people did that. Crochet baby blanket and marshmallow crochet blanket. So it tells you what people are searching for. Now I can do specific ranges. Let's see what last month did. That was 131 views. Last 30 days, 163. Specific dates. Let's say I don't know if it'll let me do a full year or not. Let's see if it'll let me from year to date. It's not letting me do it. Okay. I was hoping it would let me see that. Okay, so it's not letting me. I have to do it like for probably 30-day increments. Oh, let's see what I did last November. Oh, that's 2016. So that's 15. Here we go. Okay, well, apparently it's not working. So I'm not really sure why that's not working. But anyway, what else? That was the listing. Let me go back. Okay, so that was stats. When I'm on stats, though, it actually sends me into another back, like a shop stats area, and I can go and click on orders and shipping labels and all kinds of stuff. So there's all kinds of things that you can find in here about it. But let me go back to my shop, and if I go to edit shop, because we would have view shop, now I'm on edit shop, and it's giving tips for making your shop shine, and they've done some things, and this is a new thing here. I'm skipping this for now. I can add a cover photo to highlight my brand, and I can change my icons and all that kind of stuff. And I can rearrange the items in my store. So there's all kinds of different things that you have. There's admirers. These are all my admirers, and then reviews are on here. So, anyway, that's how I edit those. Let me flip the camera. That is it. Hey, Louisa, she just joined. Happy birthday to your son. I don't know if you want me to say his name on here, but happy birthday. Anyway, I hope I've answered your questions today. I hope I didn't get way off track. Everybody just said kind of go with it and just do my thing and show my stuff or whatever I show. So if, again, you guys, these days, especially on Fridays and Mondays, really work well when you tell me what you need. So if you were like, Kristen, I want you to walk us through uploading a pattern on Etsy, I could do that. You have to tell me you want me to do that, or ask me. I could try and do that next week. I don't have something ready to upload, but it would probably get my rear end gear to show you how I do it. So anyway, all right. Well, lots of great info. Thanks, Gayla. I'm glad you liked it. I've lost several people. I don't know. I can never tell. It says 11 people now, but I don't know. It could be 80. So, you guys have a great day. I've got to head out here for another appointment. I hope you make it a great weekend. Be sure and check out, there's a couple new videos coming your way. This is a little housekeeping. Hopefully I'm not losing y'all at this moment, but, there is the cross stitch cowl I just uploaded to YouTube late last night. That's on the, Zippy loom. You can actually do that on other looms as long as the circumference is going to work well for you, and, make sure that the yarn is appropriate. And then the crochet wings, angel wings, that pattern is, that video is coming very soon. The pattern is not ready yet to put up on the blog, but it will be. And maybe that's the pattern we do next week. And then also I have a loom book for review with a giveaway from Kathy Norris and Leisure Arts for loom knit stitches. That's coming up. So you guys need to pay attention because some things might come through this weekend. We will see. And then the Bernat Stitch Along is next week, and I'll be blogging away on that. So you guys check those things out if you will. Check out the blog. And if you're not subscribed to my newsletter, be sure and subscribe. And when you get that email to confirm, you've got to click the thing. Don't hit reply and call to me because it's an automated system, and click the thing to confirm your email address. So you guys have a great weekend. Send me out some love. I saw the hearts earlier. Do some more, do some more. Anyway, love you guys. Have a good one. Bye.